There are over 1.2 billion cars licensed on the world's roads today. So perhaps it's unsurprising that some people think they can drive like this. But what might surprise them is that they are now being filmed.
That's all on camera, mate.
With up to 50 million people getting injured each year on the world's roads, the use of dashboard cameras or dash cams has experienced a meteoric rise. Incidents caught on camera are being passed to police to help convict dangerous drivers and crash for cash insurance fraudsters. But more often than not, they bear witness to the daily antics that unfold on our roads. With drivers posting their dramatic near misses online to become viral sensations. In this series, we'll see the hilarious, hazardous, and downright outrageous footage taken directly from streets across the globe. And we track down the people who caught these moments on camera.
It literally just scared the crap out of me.
To get the story behind what happened.
Is there, and it's deadly.
And although you'll see some pretty shocking stuff, not a single clip featured involves a reported fatality. We've handpicked hundreds of the most eye-popping events caught on camera. So prepare to meet the world's deadliest drivers head on. This time on the world's deadliest drivers, oh, it's all kicking off. We've got bruised egos, battered cars, and some sore bums. But first, it's not always the world's deadliest drivers causing havoc on our streets. Sometimes, for us mindful motorists, it's just a classic case of bad luck.
There's times when people are in the wrong place at the wrong time and an accident happens. They could be doing everything right, they could be wearing their seatbelt, they could be driving the speed limit. There's a lot of instances where people are doing everything they possibly can do to drive safe, and something happens.
Have you ever had one of those days where things just aren't going your way? There's a driver on the road who just can't wait to go on holiday. See if you can spot them. I reckon this fella might need to book himself into a hotel. Certainly get kicked out of the caravan club.
Maureen, I appear to have destroyed the chemical toilet.
They say you make plans and God laughs. But I don't think it's too much to ask to simply get from A to B without losing control of your vehicle, overcorrecting, flipping 4 times, and ending up on your side.
Holy. Oh, come on.
Better send for an ambulance. There it is. This is getting ridiculous. Where are these ambulances coming from? The Russian state circus? Amidst all this disaster, I have faith that our little yellow friend here can make it to his destination. But he seems to be having an identity crisis and reckons he's a skateboard. Yeah, sweet axle grind, Tony Hawks. Yeah, totally sweet, great axle grind, man. Radical.
I always wonder if dangerous drivers care that other people think they suck. I really don't. I think dangerous drivers live in this crazy world where, again, they think they're great. And the fact that I'm beeping at you saying, what are you doing? They're just oblivious. I don't think they care.
I love Doug. He gets so pumped. It's the little things in life that can get you through when nothing seems to be going your way. A little sing and a dance on your way to work can make a big difference. Like our little silver car ahead, who just wants to practice his moonwalk. Some days it can just feel like you and your vehicle are out of sync. This biker and his motorcycle are having a lover's tiff. I mean, she's in a foul mood, and she's decided she's going home without him. Right, I'm going to my mum's. Right, you sort yourself out. Right, I don't care if we have an argument in public. Right, I don't find it awkward. Deal with it, all right? And if you think that bike wanted some space, this skidoo has felt like their relationship's been deteriorating for a while now. Off she goes. Maybe you had to give her more space, mate. Just let her go. Yeah, you've crowded her. That's the problem. She needed space to grow and breathe. Express herself. Hey, could be worse. At least you're not stuck up a mountain. Oh yeah, you are. Yeah, you'll bounce back, pal. There's plenty more skidoos in the sea. And while some vehicles just need space, others just can't let go. Ooh! I remember getting a wedgie on the bus when I was at school, but I never got wedgied by a bus. I mean, that's gotta hurt. And she forgot her handbag. And to add insult to injury, he threatens to drive off. I was only joking. It's just cruel. Thankfully, though, this woman and her bus have reconciled their differences and now have a flat share in Moscow and are expecting their first minicab in October. But it's not just in Russia that you need to keep your wits about you on the road. It doesn't matter where you are, the world's deadliest drivers are out there. No one's safe. As 59-year-old Cookie Bandel learnt as she was going out to her weekly tennis group.
I live on the street where the accident happened. I saw the truck pull out in front of me, and the truck was bouncing a little bit, and then he pulled over to let me pass. I proceeded down Jester Boulevard. I came to a stop. It's a very steep grade, and you have to brake all the way down. I didn't look in my rearview mirror. I was just sitting there, and all of a sudden I saw this red flash go past me on the right. I just was stunned. It hit, I believe, 4 or 5 cars. All I remember seeing was red and just a rocket passing within inches of my car. It startled me. It was surreal, and I heard it too. It was just a whoosh. It was all so quick. I just stared, and I was just watching the whole thing unfold in front of my eyes. I just couldn't even believe it happened. The lights were swaying from where the truck had hit the light pole across the highway. And the last time I saw something like that was during one of the very large earthquakes. And it was very calm amidst all of this devastating destruction. It was, like I said, smoke and debris everywhere. First car that was hit, he had just dropped off his 2-year-old son at the daycare, and the back of his car was flattened, which is most likely where his child would have been had he still been in the car. And then on the other side of the highway is a creek, and so the truck had to have fallen down at least 50 feet. When it hit the barrier, it almost stayed there for a second, and then it just continued through, and then it just went straight down. Everybody was like frozen in time after it all happened. I proceeded over by the bridge and saw the truck, which had fallen over the cliff, and I was surprised that it was on fire. There was already a flame coming from somewhere, just one solid flame going straight up. And so I had told the police officer that I had the whole thing recorded on my dash cam. So the police came to our house, and they are using the dash cam footage in their investigation. But I was able to probably help a lot of people with what my dash cam captured. I never really thought about it before, but I think they're very valuable. Now I'm always looking in my rearview mirror, and I'm telling my husband, maybe I should have one facing the back of my car now.
And Cookie is still amazed that the other drivers managed to make it out alive.
Everybody walked away, but there were some bumps and bruises and concussions, but everybody lived. For everybody to have survived that massive dump truck plowing through the intersection is just a miracle.
Out in the wild, dog-eat-dog world of roads, there's a distinct pecking order. And right at the bottom of the food chain are the bikers, the pedestrians, and the lowly cyclists, otherwise known as the vulnerable road user. Here we see a group huddled together in a pack for safety. These nervous beasts have a tough time of it, and they're being watched by hungry eyes, waiting for one to become separated from the pack. And when they do, the predator strikes. This car is sacrificing his precious cargo in order to ensnare his prey. But he's unsuccessful this time. Cars have now taken to hunting in packs. The Audi is the first to spring the trap as he ambushes his unsuspecting target. Don't be fooled into thinking the dashcam car is stopping to help, when in fact, he's just finishing off the job.
As cars become safer and safer, we as drivers become less concerned about safety. We sit in extremely safe vehicles with airbags, seatbelts, pre-tensioners. We're warm, we're safe, we're dry. The people around us are the ones that will suffer when it goes wrong, not so much us in the cars now. Vulnerable road users, pedestrians, cyclists and motorcyclists, in some ways are paying the price for car technology.
Thank you, Ian. So I just drifted off there. And now the section we like to call Breathe In. 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. And out. Breathe in. That's it. And breathe out. Breathe in. That's it. And breathe out.
You stupid!
Yeah, we'll give you that one. That was stressful. Anyway, breathe in. Not quite what we had in mind. And after such a humiliating encounter, there's only one thing for it. Just run. Run away. Us humans are skittish creatures. Sometimes we aren't the brightest sparks. And when the world's out to get you, sometimes you can't even trust your own kind.
You really are so vulnerable as a cyclist or a pedestrian, or even a motorcyclist to certain degrees. Any injury tends to be more serious than if you're cocooned in a car that's got its own safety cell and it's designed to protect you in a collision.
But one place you certainly wouldn't expect to be vulnerable is in an HGV. Having been a lorry driver for 38 years, David Monaghan thought he'd seen it all. Until an average day on the road turned into a brush with death.
The incident took place on a Friday morning, about 8 o'clock in the morning, just as the rush hour was coming up. I have driven this route many times. I'm very familiar with it. And as we came up to the roundabout, I noticed the transit pickup coming off the roundabout. I just happened to be slowing down, looking at the traffic ahead of me, and I seen what he had on top of him. All he had on was 2 scaffolding platforms. But if you have one on top of the other, metal on metal, metal and metal does not stay, they slide. I knew I was going to get hit with it. Where it was going to hit me, didn't have a clue. But I just knew I was going to have contact with it somewhere, somehow. Whether I was going to die or not, I didn't even come in my head because it never got a chance to think about that. Well, at the point of impact, it sounded like a bomb going off. It came straight through at my head. I would have had lost my head if I hadn't been able to move. It can go through a body like butter. I had about that much room to hide when it came through the screen. I dropped down about, I would say 3 feet. I'd moved from my hip to my head flat, and I've never been that flat before. I thought what would happen many, many times when I've seen accidents on the road. How did somebody do this? How did they survive that? I never knew until this. Now I know how. Things just kick in. Adrenaline was pumping, didn't feel no pain, and I couldn't speak because I had glass all over my face and my mouth, nose, eyes, everywhere. All I could do was let go of the steering wheel with my right hand and give them a wave to say I'm all right, I'm still alive, because I'm assuming they all thought I was dead. When my head started to sting and I realised that on the crown, I had actually cut the crown of my head. And the only way that can get cut is the platform came through and clipped me on the back of the head. That is how close it was. It just coming over the top of the steering wheel, right up to where my head should be, and that's when it struck home. Did I feel lucky to survive when I seen the pictures? Very, very lucky indeed. Sometimes they call me Lucky Dave.
It's clear to see that Lucky Dave's quick reactions and calm demeanour saved him from a potential fatality.
I wasn't annoyed. I wasn't even angry. All I said to the other driver was, "You're very, very lucky. It was me you hit and no one else, because I'm here to talk about it."
The incident may have lasted only a few seconds, but it will stay with Dave for a lot longer.
It's affected me to the way that the first 6 or 7 weeks, I was waking up in sweats. What kept waking me up was the thoughts of, what if? What if it had crossed over and ploughed in? I'm 18 ton and ploughed into a little car, a motorbike, pedestrians. What if it had gone on the roundabout? What if? It's the smallest word in the world, but it's got the biggest meaning. If this, if that. You know, anybody could have been killed. I see more things now than I ever seen before. I would say I'm one of the most luckiest persons in the world. I'm lucky to be here.
When it comes to finding top quality clips, you can travel the world and cross oceans, but really, there is only one country that holds the dash cam clip crown. Welcome to Russia. 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 Here is Doug to get you all American pumped up.
I don't have a lot of time to watch television, but when I do, I just go to YouTube and I type in Russian dash cam video. I could sit for days and watch this stuff. Seriously? Yuri, you probably shouldn't drink a bottle of vodka before, I don't know, going to buy a bottle of vodka. Slow down.
All right, Doug, calm down. I thought Reagan and Gorbachev settled things between these two countries. Well, maybe you can buy a baseball bat in your local service station in Russia, and I suppose also they have just classed beer as alcoholic. It's like they want people to get drunk and fight. Last year, Russians bought 500,000 baseball bats, but in the same year, the total number of baseballs sold was just 1. They've even started charging tourists for an authentic Russian crash experience. Please exit ride in orderly fashion. Thank you for visit Crash World. We hope you enjoyed your crash. Please come crash again with us sometime soon. Yes, please. Yeah, crashing in Russia is more of a hobby. I mean, look at this fella just kicking in a windscreen. That bloke's not even bothered. Look at that fella just kicking in a windscreen. Is he done? Mirror signal manoeuvre. Off we go. People just aren't bothered to put the effort in anymore. I mean, I could crash. I'll just carry on. Have a crash later or something. Yeah, I just had enough. Just drive off the road. Look, this 5-year-old scooter driver is frankly embarrassed by the whole situation. But thankfully there is a small contingent of crash fanatics trying to bring it back in new and exciting ways. Like tram ramming. Or surprise lane swap. This enthusiast tries the quick lane change, but is unsuccessful. However, this is Russia. They don't give up that easy. The driver quickly